Hello and welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons. Woo. uh, Last time the team finished their train ride and got back to Carport and took a tour of their house with their newfound, well, with the people who had not yet seen the place, specifically Avril and their found friend Reptar. Reptar, who had decided to stay behind and look after the place, as they got a little overwhelmed with kind of what happened to them. Yeah. Stayed the night, dumped some stuff, had some conversations about Golden Bust on the pedestal in their living room. Yeah, it was a very social episode. If you're interested in how that goes down, you can go ahead and watch that. But as of right now, most recently, Avril decided to create their teleport circle, at least temporarily, while they head off to Storm's Ledge to find out more stuff about whatever happened here while they were fighting the Mushroom People. It was said that there was some weird stuff happening. Yeah. So, Avril casting their teleport circle to Storm's Ledge puts down a magical circle, and unlike it's something that the team has seen many a time before. Well, not many times, but a few times now. They've teleport circled around the place. Avril's is a little bit different, as their magic makes it a little bit more fiery and red. Not hurty, but in that way. But
That's the alien. Go ahead.
yes. Otherwise, it is an effective teleportation circle, and you had found yourselves back in the room that was previously storage on the teleportation dais, greeted by a diamond dragonkin who asked for your names to get details about who was coming in, but was promptly brought down to just writing descriptions of you, and that's where you're at right now. And that's in that room formerly referred to as the storage. So, you're here to talk to the wizard at the top of this tower. It's looking after the astral projection stuff. Who's investigating it, or what its original purpose was, and all that. At the top of this tower. So.
Investigating.
Well, the question is that where you want to go first? There are other people here that you might want to see, might want to talk to. This is, for Avril's sake, this is back in the school that you got the books from. You were here only a couple of days ago. Yeah.
That place.
That place. Um,
I feel like everyone will want to know, maybe, with the learning. I don't know, man. My brain ain't doing the work.
yeah, no, I don't think anyone's is today.
What do you need?
So we're back at the school that you got the books from.
Now I'm with you. Now I'm with you.
Yes.
I'm very sorry. I'm struggling to keep track with the town names. I was messaging John about this the other day and going, "Can you help me?"
No, that's totally fair. Yeah, so Storm's Ledge is the place with the school and at the center. That is where you've found yourself. That is where you teleported into. You recognize the robes that are on this Diamond Dragonkin kid.
Oh, the underground place. Yes, I remember.
Yes, it's the underground city.
Magical mountain city.
Yes.
I committed atrocities.
Yes.
Hey, we basically smoothed that over.
Yeah, it smoothed over his whole mouth.
we are the cause of and solution to all of our problems.
Yep.
Everyone's just looking between you as you're talking about this, like, what?
Thorakis would not have said this out loud, not him.
yeah, that's fair, actually.
Fine.
Soz.
Oh,
You can pretend we talked about it earlier.
So-
April has not learnt all the atrocities yet.
Uh-huh.
Not even close.
I'm traveling around with this
There are
group
so
of
many
people like,
things.
tra-la-la, these are lovely people.
Yeah.
Honestly, in the broad scope of this place, yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
I know, I
that's
get
the
it.
terrible part.
I could have made much worse choices, you know?
Definitely.
Especially with
I
the
could
wild
still
hunt
be,
there.
I could still
Yeah.
be, you know, traveling with the Wild Hunt thinking they're a
Mhm.
circus, unless they've eaten me by now, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah, your options here are do whatever you like in the school. You know, there's people here you can talk to. Nemi's around. Joe is up in is around here somewhere. If you guys go back to the dragon manufactory up at the top, the very top of this place. That is an option, but you are here to talk to the wizard at the top. The wizard in the astral part of this place, as he said, he messaged Paris during the mushroom stuff to be like, hey, shit's getting weird up here. So, but otherwise it is entirely up to you where you'd like to go next.
Hey, April, you want to see something cool?
Yeah.
All right, and I will lead us up towards the astral area of it. I'm not sure if we have a name.
I don't think it
What
was
it
ever
is?
really ever given a name.
The dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dome
Mycelium
at
dome.
the. I think that's a pretty good name.
Mycelial dome. Perfect.
Yeah.
Write that down. Okay. Well,
You know I won't.
I know. You head out. Anyone who's watching, write that down so you know when we don't use it. Exit the storage room. Hang a left. Head through the rest of the school. It is morning-ish. Yeah, you guys just had breakfast. So, yeah. The school doesn't seem like class has started just yet. So there's a lot of students about.
Well, look, what food did we have prior to this?
what was in the kitchen and rations.
Alright, so
Done.
Ailey will be following her nose to the cafeteria. Have fun stopping her.
Oh yeah. I mean, Jim did make a rather impressive breakfast, but it was not fresh foods. It was like cheese and pickles and stuff.
Yes.
Mm.
So, well, luckily that is mostly on the way.
Mhm.
So yes, hang left, walking through the corridors on your way to the elevator that takes you up to that tower. Once you pass like the main entryway to the castle, you will see Ailey take off. As I doubt they're being particularly sneaky about it. And head to some smells.
Varys just waves a hand vaguely in their direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Alright,
get swept up in another group of students that are also heading that way, presumably for their own breakfasty, brunchy thing.
So Thoracus notices Codswallop is sort of leaning in that direction too,
Mm.
trying not to whine, and I'm like, oh, yeah, let's go. Let's go. What do you smell?
So you're gonna follow Ailey as well?
Yeah, I'm going with Ailey, with Codswallop.
Of course. Okay. So, Thoracus, Ailey, Codswallop. Anybody else?
This is a wedding little throw. Like, what has happened before with just us three?
The potion disaster.
Yeah.
And it's very
We
silly,
just
had a
actually.
conversation about
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. No.
That's why I'm like, so, is anyone else maybe thinking anything? Maybe having some insights here? Nope.
I think as you two sort of tag like along with it, I think Varys's other eye starts to follow where you're going. Something's not right.
Yeah.
What are you talking
Ow.
about? Nothing bad ever happens.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. Anywhere.
Nope, not at
Things
all.
just tend to happen around us. There's nothing
Yeah.
to do with us.
Avril, if you want to go and get some food, that's
Happens
fine. I can just
around.
go talk to the guy. It's okay.
Talk to the guy.
Yeah, there's a wizard who's going to talk to me about mushrooms and a big sky dome and stars and stuff.
Stars are kind of fire. Someone told me that once. Maybe I should
True.
come with you.
Sure. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. Let's go.
Okay. And
Um,
we can get snacks on the way back.
sure. Yeah. And
Can we get
Crash is
pocket
coming with
snacks so
us
that we
too.
can give them to Jun because Jun likes pocket snacks?
Sure.
Feel like
Sure.
right now,
I
not?
feel like you're putting words in my
Like-
mouth.
Yeah. but I also feel like Judd would maybe be sulking that everyone's like been like, oh yeah, we had this big breakfast that he put together, and now they're just like running off for more food that smells better.
No, I don't think they've.
No?
I don't think they've recognized that at all. Actually,
Okay,
they're just like, oh, okay.
fair enough.
But in fact, I think, considering, yeah.
Roll for it, roll for it, roll for it. No?
That as well.
I am, in fact, outside right now. If I need to roll anything, Skelly's gonna have to do it for me.
Yeah.
Really, in general today, just roll for me. I am in a lot of pain.
Fair enough.
But I got to see jousting live, so ha.
That's very D&D. Um, yeah. Well, it doesn't look like Jun has figured out or what the best course of action is to do. So they're just going to continue along with Varys up the tower. And yeah. So there you go.
Cool.
But I think Crash will say something as
Crash is not going to be worrying about the food or distracted by the food, so Crash could keep an eye on them.
yeah. So he is very much as the party is splitting, and notices you notice alien Thoricus leaving. He will say to you in your head, "I'll keep an eye on them," and follows.
Ferris doesn't say anything,
Watch
but
them
there
burn
is
everything down.
there is a flash of memory that he gets of the potion shop incident.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is very much considering Crash has multiple angles of that. He is definitely following along. So, we'll follow Varys, Jun, and Everil into the elevator. Mycelial dome. Yeah. So, as you rise in this elevator, it's still a queasy experience for Everil, having only recently dealt with elevators. And this one is a longer one than the other ones that have gone on.
And I preemptively take off my hat and hold it in front of my face.
Perfect. Well, as you reach the top, you realize up here it's very dark. It's like being outside at night. Except looking over you, looking at the would-be ceiling, you notice these points of light all over the ceiling, all over the surrounding of you. That very much looks like the night sky, almost exactly like the night sky. Pictured on the ceiling above you, but only for a few seconds. Are you able to take this in before it all suddenly shuts down and the whole room lights back up? And part of the dome, as it were, that you are now surrounded by, opens up, and a grizzled, middle-aged wizard.
The Grizzle Wizard.
Yeah, sticks his head out through the door and goes, "Ah, you made it."
Indeed, yes. Glad to see that your fungus issues were much lighter than ours.
Yes, I'd like to say that I want to know what happened, but I actually kind of don't. But I will. I mean, I guess I kind of do in some ways, but anyway, come in here and I'll show you what happened.
Okay, all right.
So, you follow him through the door of this dome into the back inner mechanisms that power this machine. It is all a mess of clockwork pieces, as well as see There are a few chairs and tables that have, for Everil, have always been here. For you guys, are recent additions to this place up here. There's lots of places to sit and write and investigate, and there are papers strewn about the place with sketches of pressings of all sorts of things from this machine, from different pieces of it, and of course pieces of the pictogram that Joe has also been trying to translate as well. Yeah, a little ways into the mechanism, but you know it's there. Everyone doesn't sees fantastic pictures of these clockwork machines, of mechanical beings like Crash, like Joe, drawn down. Yeah, and a lot of ancient writings of texts that some familiar, some not. All about the place. Hard to take it all in. But the wizard leads you through the mechanism to the portion of this machine that was previously looked at by Oricus, which is the little fungal mat that seems to line the entire machine here, like a thin layer between it and the underlying the actual mechanism of the machine. It seems to both be a vital function of the machine, but also powering the light that shows the night sky. Some weird and odd intersection between technology and magic, which is very much par for the course when it comes to the stuff that you guys have been dealing with. But it's very interesting that it's mushrooms in this aspect, when it's normally just been spice or magical cores or robots. But this wizard will point it out to you, and he'll say, well, it started moving, like a lot.
Okay. Moving a lot. Ow.
Like wriggling all over the place. There's pulsing up and down. The lights on the inside were flickering and moving around, like changing the. It wasn't the night sky anymore. So it's other patterns. Couldn't really make them all out, but yeah, some people have got some people to draw some of them. There was a lot during. It was like maybe a minute of just going crazy.
Okay.
So now's the time you tell me what you were dealing with your mushrooms.
We were. We launched an offensive against some mushrooms that had been hiding in the town as people. We
Mushrooms,
some daylight, and yes, like an infection,
hiding as
almost, or inside people, and some were too far gone and just kind of died when we used the daylight on them, but others survived and attacked, and there was and his eyes sort of get a bit darker, a bigger one too.
I see. Okay. I'm not a fungal mancer or anything like that, so I don't really know how any of that stuff works. But it sounds like you had mushroom problems. We had mushroom problems at the same time.
Yes.
So these things are kind of connected then, I guess. So where exactly were you having this mushroom? Where is this town?
Copper Knight?
Not Copper.
No, not Copper Knight.
No,
was-
Coal Rock, the town above.
Cool Rock. Okay. Right. I'll pass that information on and
Okay.
essentially give a cut down version of what happened.
Okay. So there's a mine in this town, and you went down and you found them, but there were also above and infected the entire town.
Well, had infected people in the town. They were blending in, is the weirdest way to describe it. Some people would avoid the daylight to allow themselves to carry on undetected, but we called a meeting in a way that would secure everybody there. But they're all connected. There's a Ferris is struggling for the words.
Ah, I see.
It is active. It is actively antagonistic. It wants to kill.
Right. But this interconnection is interesting, as that would explain why this fungal net interacted with whatever you were doing at the time here.
Yeah.
It must be connected in some way.
I would say so. Yes.
Yes. So, did you talk to any of them? Did you manage to get an actual conversation out of them? What's their deal? You said that they want to feed, they want to kill. How do you know that?
There was one of them that we encountered, and Baraso described the creature that had the big shield and stuff.
Okay. There was an encounter with... Okay, yes.
And it wanted to... it wanted people to die, essentially. It takes them over. I'm not sure whether it's a propagation thing or... I don't know. Dead bodies seems to be... I mean, I guess fungus can grow on decay, right?
Yes. You know what? I think we might need...
If we need a mushroom expert, we do have one. They're just down in the cafeteria, I think.
I see.
Derek had like a whole conversation with one of them, and they were doing talking, but in their mind, it was really cool.
Yes, I think we better speak with the ruckus
Okay.
to understand exactly what's going on here. But
Too bad.
but I will say, we don't know the origin of this mat, right? We don't really know we don't know the true origin of any of this technology here.
Yes.
But this particular piece is quite different from any of the other mechanisms we've looked at. It sort of acts as a conductor, a power source. All sorts of parts of this rely on this fungal mat that exists here. But no other technology we've found is anything like it from the people who came before. So it must...
So there's something special here.
Yes, and it must play some... It definitely plays a part in this machine's purpose, right? It was calculating the exact time that the Black Sun would return, which we have no idea how it was doing that. That seems to be the purpose. And this fungal mat plays a huge part of it. So, understanding how it's connected to these other mushrooms somewhere else could be important. In fact, it is very important. If we're gonna find out any more about the Black Sun and how it all connects.
Okay.
And I'd really like to know how it all works, so I could build more machines like this. You know?
I could see the uses for it, for sure.
Well, not necessarily just, you know. Anyway. Let's go talk to the Rex.
Sure.
Alright. He grabs some papers and writing utensils and a bunch of other bits and bobs off of the table next to him.
Can I just look through? There were patterns and stuff that were recorded, he said, right?
Yes, that they
Can I
were.
see if there's any correlation with the sketches that we've had from our Jensen Temple stuff?
Sure. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Or I am not currently logged in.
Oh,
If you can, I don't know, kick me, I guess, so that I can rejoin. I can't
I see.
use that character.
I can
Alright.
roll.
Yes, I have
something
kicked you.
embarrassed though.
Please.
Or if you want to roll.
No, please go ahead and try and relog in. It's all good.
Okay.
Mm. Nothing. It's
Good.
not available.
Okay. Well, while you refresh, I will go ahead and roll that for you.
Sure, thank you.
Investigation. Alright, 19 on the dice for 24. You look over some of the papers. He points out the ones that are specifically the patterns that he referred to. They are not similar to not similar to any of the stuff that you got from the Jensen team. Is that it was all draconic gibberish that was expected together. But knowing that this stuff is yeah, it's yeah, it was a star map. Right? That was essentially what it was previously, of the exact replication of what's outside in the stars, and those points of light were moved around into different patterns that were attempted to be captured. You look over them, and you do immediately get a sense that there's something incomplete about them. That they are, that something was, some kind of communication that was trying to happen there, but yeah, it eludes you.
Okay.
You feel like you don't really have the mind that would be required to understand what was going on here. You're highly technical, analytical. This would need more information and other. Yeah, you're missing pieces of the puzzle.
Okay. Cool.
But he collects them up anyway, and puts them into his own bag of holding, as well as all the other pieces he's got. And he'll lead you back down through the dome onto the elevator and back down to the bottom level of the school and towards the cafeteria, where we will find Thoricus and Ailey and Crash and Codswallop in the cafeteria, which is less of a cafeteria and more of a grand hall. Massive big tables everywhere, magical floating lights, keeping everything lit up in here. There is a very warm, inviting atmosphere. Lots of students everywhere, lining a lot of the tables. They're all having their bits of breakfast. The hall isn't large enough to hold the entire student populace in it, so it appears that students just file in and out as they finish their meals. You find Ailey and Thoricus, Codswallop and Crash sitting at one of these tables, flanked on both sides by various students who are all, some are just getting through their day, eating their breakfast, going, but others are very interested to see both Ailey and Thoricus and Crash. Very interesting things to wake up to in the morning.
I mean, some of them must recognize them from previous visits, right?
Yeah, so there are those of them who don't give a shit. They're like, whatever, we've seen these people before. But you've been here only a couple of times, and you've passed through the halls so much, right? But this is an entire city's student population who they may probably had classes. They've probably heard about you for sure, but have never actually seen you. For a lot of them, especially the Dragonkin Ailey is of particular interest, as you are. You have scales that are not crystal. You're a Dragonkin, but not a crystal dragon. And you have far more dragon natured stuff than they ever hoped to have. You've got claws, horns, wings. They
Stuffing her face.
yeah.
Probably whacking students walking past with their wings accidentally or with their tail.
Whereas most of them are lucky if they've got the scales on places that are nice to look at. Many of them have them in places that just sort of makes it kind of look like birthmarks or anything like that. Sometimes some of them is just like just the eyes of a dragon, just the ears. So seeing someone who is as much dragon as you are it's interesting to them.
And she's just stuffing her face.
Yeah.
And occasionally be like, are you gonna finish that? To people.
For sure. And Thoricus is also an oddity. They've never seen tiefling before, unless they've been in the halls. And Crash, as much as they've heard of mechanical men, the only one that was ever been around is Joe, and Joe is often covered, hides his mechanical pieces. Crash is naked, essentially, with all of his mechanical bits hanging out. So he is also an oddity, especially for those who are interested in the magical technology that that is studied here as well. So, but otherwise, you guys successful. You don't even have to really struggle to get food when you get here. You are just you're accepted as the student body essentially. You sit down and food is brought to you, and you are fed. Easy as that.
Yeah.
And after a few minutes of eating and drinking and just chilling out, the rest of the party comes in, being led by this wizard, who will sit down next to you, Thrakus, push a bunch of the empty plates and stuff and dishes out of the way, and start pulling out bits of paper from his bag of holding, and placing them out in front, showing off sketches of what was happening with the fungal mat when it happened. Any of this
This
look
gentleman here would like to talk about that.
any of this look familiar?
What am I looking at?
This was what the fungal mat did when you guys were fighting the big mushroom man.
Okay.
Well, go.
And
It was weird. It was doing stuff. Look, it's moving up and down, wriggling around, and then there was the lights that it made. It pulls out a bunch more papers and shows you the dome and the way that the stars moved around that was on it. It did a bunch of this stuff. It was weird and crazy, and you talked to the mushroom consciousness, right? Can you piece any of this together? You know mushrooms, know how they work. What does this indicate?
I mean, like, it sounds like you're trying to accuse our lovely little mycelium darlings of having some kind of association with the enemy.
I mean, I guess they seem like they are related, as it was happening at the exact time that you guys were fighting with these people. They seem to have some link to each other, or at least psychically, as they were able to communicate with you and other things. I imagine that they're psychically linked to this mat as well.
Or at least in some form of communication with it and reacting to it.
Yes. So, do you have any insights about what this could be?
1 second. Yes. I really do.
Okay. I'm also gonna get you to roll a nature check as well.
Skelly, I still can't log in.
What is it
Is that high
saying?
enough for you?
I just can't access the Varus character.
Oh.
Like, I when I go to the join game session, Varus is grayed out, and I can't
Like it's logged in?
join as him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 seconds, everybody.
This has happened to me before.
Ba, 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 ba. Come on. Music, come back.
Hang on, I might be gone for a moment.
Okay. Okay. What about now?
Nope, still grayed out. It's still logged in. Apparently.
Dang it. Okay. Hold everybody.
Sorry.
It's alright. Going. Technical difficulties. I really should make like technical difficulties screen for my recordings and streams to be on when things are going weird. Considering they happen all the time. Okay. Please attempt to log back in.
Hey. It appears to be working.
Fantastic.
Just struggling.
Yeah,
Well-
everything's still loading in, but I got past the login screen, which is more than before.
Cool. Well, while everyone gets logged back in, I'll explain. So, Ruckus.
Yeah.
On that insight, you'll check.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the movements and the patterns described and shown. And from your experience with mushrooms and mycelia in general, this is wacko crazy. Like, that's weird stuff that's happening right now. It seems like a pain reaction, but not from whatever you were doing, if that makes sense. Like, it wouldn't have been from your sunburst effect that caused this. It played a part in it for sure. But from what Varys said about when it's told that this was happening, and the timeline doesn't really check out exactly for this being the actual cause of what happened here, but for sure the Met was in pain, and something happened to it. And looking at these pictures of stars in there, it looks to you like it was trying to project something about what was hurting it on it. It doesn't seem like it's just complete like random stuff, but you don't have any real good reference as to what that is, whether it's like a code or to like represent an image of some sort. It is essentially just dots on paper, really. So you're not sure who would or what would be able to interpret that. But yeah, that is what you have gleaned from your expertise.
That's some pretty smart words there, fancy man.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there, I guess we'll try to. Sorry, I've got a very angry cat right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there, I guess we'll try to explain that to people with the big brainwave of, oh my god, all the things. It all makes sense. But it's also scary
Okay.
about what it could imply. Let's not jump to conclusions, because, it could mean anything.
Good.
Yeah, and unfortunately, all of them are pretty bad.
So, definitely connected, still, but not the way that we thought. That's interesting. So something else put it into terrible pain. Interesting that it happened at the same time, though, as well. Okay, well, I wish I had more insights, but I guess that's as good as we're gonna get at the moment. Unless you know anybody who could possibly interpret these images at all.
Who do we know that has big mushroom law?
Is that a Varus question?
That's a me question, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Barely know about mushrooms.
No, the Rakus is pretty much your...
Mushroom visions.
I'm your mushroom guy.
Mm.
But the Fae? But
Yeah,
could know.
elves.
Elves
I
could
mean,
know.
they've been around long enough to perhaps know of old tales or something. Yeah,
and
that's
this, maybe we should ask around this city, because it is
linked to it.
underground.
Yeah,
Maybe they've seen some or heard of mushroom peeps.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I can go lick some mushrooms again. Maybe the network will tell me.
So, yeah, you've got Fae, elves, there's magical people in this city that have probably have some information about it. There's the dwarves here who have done lots of cave stuff over in Noonhouse, who possibly know stuff about deep dark caves of mushrooms and things like that, and the Underdark in general. And obviously, there's machines such as Joe and Crash, who have an untapped knowledge of things that they're not familiar with. They don't know what they know, essentially.
Yeah, true. Can Crash have a look at these and see if anything sparks for him?
Absolutely.
Can I give him guidance?
You may.
Oh, let's do it. 1. Right. Hey, +2.
Alright. Yeah. You will look over them, and briefly pick up one or two of them, get a closer look, shuffle them around a bit, look at them again, tilt his head left and right. There's something here in my databanks about this, but I don't know if I can't access it or it's just too degraded. Someone else will have to. Maybe Joe might have something.
Yes, Joe would be a good contact as well.
Well, the wizard will say, all right. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen him. I was going to ask him about them as well, but he's probably still up in the fabrication station.
I would
the other
imagine
two.
so.
So. All right. Well, I'll take my leave then. I have copies of those, so you can have these.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. So far, it hasn't tried to take over any brains or anything, so...
Good.
Yeah. I'll keep an eye out on it and let you know if that becomes a problem. Yeah.
Anything breaking, send it through, and if we find anything that fits in with what you're looking into, we'll pass it on.
Fantastic. Well, I'll keep investigating.
Good luck.
You too. Picked up his things. Get off. All right.
Leaving the grown-ups to having the conversations. I don't know. Everyone's kind of looking around super uncomfortably at all of the other students, and then kind of like noticing them, and then like picking at her own robes, and then noticing other students, and then pulling her robes awkwardly and like trying to get them to sit right. And I'm just kind of like leaving the grown-ups to do their thing.
Fair enough.
Are you classifying Ailey as a grown-up in this situation?
I'm classifying precisely none of you as grown-ups. I just want to say that as far as Avril is concerned, you are in fact a grown-up.
Yeah.
Yep. Grown-up that needs to eat. They're a growing dragon.
I will say that while you're like sitting to the side while this discussion is going on, one of the students will come up and like tap you on the shoulder, like, hey, we've got class. And then when you look at them, be like, what? They realize that you're not someone they know, and they go, oh, so embarrassed, and like, sorry, and walk away.
I have this even more shuffling of robes, and oh god. It's like super obvious. Like I'm not attempting to hide it, I just feel really awkward, definitely going red, lots of fiddling with my fingers in my lap.
Fair enough. Well, once the wizard has left, you are all here, taking up an entire table, essentially. As the number of students starts to thin out, as breakfast is being finished up. What is your next move? Where to next?
Who do we know to ask about things in this city? that we wouldn't just be annoying.
Well,
I don't know, man.
you know that Joe, Elephon, and Supemo are all up in the fabrication station.
Vacation station.
Yeah, you know that you know some people here.
There's a blacksmith who I don't think would have any information. Police person who I want to avoid.
Yep.
The dwarves.
Yes, you know the dwarves.
We should go talk to the dwarf monks who go into the caves. Right? See if they know anything about mushroom people.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
They like us.
You also know the headmaster of this college.
Nah, he's an ass.
I mean, she and yes.
Who the fuck was I thinking of then?
Probably the one that's dead.
Oh yeah.
Drumroan in
Yeah, the
quotation marks.
dragon, because I never get along with dragon.
Mhm.
He was also a fiend in disguise, I think, for the time that we knew them.
Yeah.
Well, it just makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep. See, I totally remember things. We were talking about
Long-term storytelling.
100%
Mhm.
memorying.
Memory.
Monks. My vote is monks. What about everyone else?
Is that an eye?
Sounds like we're gonna go. Sorry.
Was that an eye? Everybody going to see the monks? Yes.
Silence means yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Copy. All right. Well, you round up all your things. Collect as much food as can be collected, and head on out. Yeah. Cool. So, it's a quick walk out. You notice that the halls are more or less have less and less students in them as classes have started.
Sorry, just as we're walking along, can I attempt to slip a rasher of bacon into Jin's robes? So they have some pocket bacon without knowing it.
Can we do sleight of hand?
Yes, please do a sleight of hand.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
To point out at this point of time, Ailey has probably got pocket everything at this stage. Pocket mashed potatoes, pocket bacon, pocket nuts, whatever's on the table.
Well, that's a 4, but that is the
You said
13.
pocket
That's not
nuts.
bad.
Is
Yeah,
that 13?
and probably has pocketed someone's wallet in the process too. For it is Ailey.
As long as it's not mine, it's all good.
Well, you go to place it in their pocket, but you didn't realize that their hand was in their pocket at the time, so you just sort of slide it into their hand, and they like can grab it and pull it up and go, "Okay, I'll have that." And just chomps it down.
Cool. Okay. Paris carries
Thanks.
on. Pretends that he didn't just do that.
Psychic damage. So next week we need to remember to just slip in that Jun has a greasy hand. Yeah. With no explanation.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
100%.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, make it out of the college. Its gates no longer guarded. This place has become a lot more free love, peace in our time sort of stuff. Make it out onto the street and start heading towards the dwarves. To the top of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you would like to do on your way there?
Just keeping an eye out to make sure that we're not attracting more eyes than we normally do.
Alright. Perception check, please.
Okay, dokie.
Okay. Nope. No extra attention. Yeah, you're becoming less and less of interest as you pass by these days. There are still the occasional gawk. It is purely out of interest as opposed to...
Yeah. Curiosity is fine.
Yes,
Interest that is specific is not.
exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, make it to the temple that is houses the
Sorry.
dwarves here. The monks of the temple. You see outside there are a few dwarves, child dwarves, playing with a ball of some sort, playing the essentially soccer. There's no real guidelines or rules or even markings on the ground. They're just sort of kicking the ball around. Some of them will notice you and recognize some of you, and one of them will run off into the temple, coming back out with the temple leader, owner, high priest, high monk. Ah, friends. It was good to see you again.
Hey dude, what's up? I don't know how to say anything. We hope you're doing well. How are the children?
They are well. It's a time of great blessings in all places.
Cool. So I'm guessing you haven't come across freaky mushroom people in your explorations?
Quite an interesting question. Not recently. Why?
Because we have... Not here.
Okay.
But we had quite an experience. And it seems that they've decided to join the Black Sun God. So we're looking for information on them.
I see. Okay.
So it's for the bad news.
All right. Yes.
Yes. So,
Thanks. Okay. Let me let me go and check to see if we have any information. Those. Yes, I'll check our library. I know that there have always been tales of mushroom folk from our ancestors, as it were, from the Duragar that came before, and the things that they found in the Underdark, things that burrow in the deep. And mushroom people are definitely one of those. Would you like to peruse our library?
Yes. We definitely need more information. Because it's not good. They've been coming up to the surface and killing people to take their bodies.
Yes, that is most horrifying, actually.
It really is. It also really burns getting those spores out. Like, yeah. Maybe think twice before breathing in there.
Okay, noted.
So make sure, I don't know, if you go exploring, maybe it's best to keep a mask on you. And just be aware that they're probably gonna be violent.
Well, luckily we don't do that much exploring these days, but yes, we'll make a note of
that
it.
Changes.
Of course. Well, please do come inside.
Thank you, friends.
And he leads you inside of the temple. He takes you deep inside to the library, which isn't so much isn't as grand a library as many of the places that you have been to with libraries. It is more just a couple of shelves that are stacked high with books. Yeah, they didn't.
Sick. That's way easier to find information in. Filtered it for us.
Yes. There are also piles of books, as it doesn't seem they had enough room to put them all on the shelves. Yes. Well, here's our library. Would you like someone to help look through these?
If they're willing. But, yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to put anyone out, but it would be helpful.
I will see if anyone volunteers. Yeah.
All right, let's get down to business. Do I
To
perceive?
defeat the nope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's your
let's
movie.
get down to business.
Oops.
And a whoops.
All right.
I
Cool.
mean, it did roll in that 20 and then a 19, so yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Swings
all
and roundabouts.
balanced dice.
You wasted
Something,
them good
something
rolls.
Probability.
Well,
I didn't waste them.
is anybody else looking around? Anybody else perceiving?
I mean, Ailey's always looking for stuff. It's what.
Well, that mainly just looks like a bunch of musty old books in a library.
Look,
Did you roll for me already?
I have not.
Okay.
Were you talking about the
As usual, she's looking for dragon shit,
Okay, sure.
but kind of also looking for what she's supposed to.
Tunes.
Yeah, she's not finding anything she's supposed to.
Not really following a whole lot. So, Thoricus picks up one of the books, blows the dust off of it, and gets it all up in their eyes, and is not seeing anything for a little while as they try and get their eyes clear of the dust and yuck and. Verse and Ailey both pick up a book and realize it is in Dwarven.
Haley was it's a Ferris. Like, can you read this? They're all so small.
Uh-huh.
It's a small person's language.
Yeah. Small people all speak the same language, right?
Yeah.
No matter how long Ailey spends with everyone,
Yeah.
she's still an idiot.
Okay.
Like, she's right, it's a small person's language, but she's
That's-
wrong.
that
It's
is-
not the right
she's-
small people.
She's a little bit racist.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah. Just a tad.
Or sizist, but also racist. Like it's about the size.
But this also, yeah.
I guess it's not
But it is about-
necessarily just racist.
Well, it's all the
also-
different dragon people can speak
speciesist.
Draconic. Why can't all the small people speak small?
That's
not
not
the
how
same.
it works.
Yeah, but that's how Ailey thinks it works.
Yeah, no. Well, sorry, that's not how it works.
What?
Ah.
Well,
Can I see again?
yes, you can see again, and you also have found, yes, that every book in here is in Dwarven. So, I don't think any of you speak Dwarven or read it.
If someone reads it out loud, can Ailey understand it?
Yeah, but no
if they knew how to pronounce it, yeah, sure.
So we're gonna need a helper for sure. At the very least, someone
She would
point
try
out.
Crash next. Like, can you speak the little people language?
No, none of you can speak it, so I can.
Okay, so for the gnome language, it says it uses the dwarfish script.
That is true.
So can I read it?
You could read it out loud, yes.
I
Well,
got the,
try
got the
to.
thing. It's
Would it be a bit
Yeah.
like an English speaker trying to pronounce French?
Yes.
yeah, Varus will go through and just very ploddingly read through some stuff out loud.
Can Ailey?
Ailey
Pass any of it?
understand at least bits of it?
Yeah. This is a funny hack.
Wait. Does Ailey understand bits of it because bits of it are pictures?
That would help.
That
a
would be
lot.
pretty funny, but no. I guess you don't. Yeah, Ailey is constantly has on the circlet of comprehending languages.
Now just merged with their horns.
yeah,
as they put
basically.
back out after filing them.
Yeah,
Can't take it off.
no, she actually can't take it off. And it allows them. They essentially just are constantly casting comprehend languages on themselves. Yeah.
And Varus speaks Gnomish, which the written language for is the same script as Dwarvish, so he can read it. So we'll
Out
read it out
loud.
loud for Ailey to hear and translate for us.
With difficulty, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
D&D equivalent of trying to talk to somebody through a can on a string.
It's
Like,
even worse
someone-
than that, really. It's like, yeah.
Okay.
It's like an adult speaking to a kid on a can on a string, and that kid is also partially deaf. And the adult has a lisp.
Functionally, It is like an English speaker trying to pronounce French to someone who is blind and speaks French
Kind of.
for them to translate.
But the first person has taken some French classes, but that was a while ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
Yeah. So, yes. So, Varys, you do read off some of the titles of the books that you pick up and read them out, and Ailey gives vague translations as to what they hear you say, because that's essentially how it's working for them. So the first few books that you pick up are Ailey translates them as People Library. With a that's all they say every time you pick them up and you say them out. And you notice that there's a common set of words that you're saying for each of these. But there's a distinct individual word that's different between them, and then a couple of words that are the same. And you're, from each one of them, hearing from Ailey, People Library. They're not seemingly able to translate whatever the first thing is you're saying, as it doesn't seem to pass this comprehend languages. From your understanding of how this works, you're imagining that those are proper nouns.
Ah, okay.
So you're getting name, People Library. Name, People Library.
Okay.
So it's like people and places, and then it's like labeled for the library. It's like this library.
I'm
Maybe.
guessing encyclopedia of different people and their like biographies and stuff.
Or is it people that have like donated these to the library? Are these people's experiences? Maybe we should read more inside the covers.
Oh, like
Good.
first-hand account type things?
Then we'll go up, grab one of them, open it up, and flip it around and show it to you. These are ancestry books. It's just their ancestries. And we'll show that the family trees are in them.
Like, yeah, we can see the pictures.
That is a people library. Okay.
Wow. So it's only people library? Is there anything else in here?
That's just like the first shelf that you've started to look through. So it's gonna it can be a while if you would like to continue.
We need to find this information. Is there a way of doing that?
Look through people who should know what their stuff is. See if they have anything.
If there are specifically families who were like spelunkers and adventurers who went out into the fringes, maybe they'd be a good place to start.
Maybe, but you would have to translate more of the books to know.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Well, yeah. Nobody seems to have anything that would really help in this instance, at least not from my perspective.
I'm guessing spirit guardians aren't smart. Help us figure it out. Help us find the thing.
Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your locate object only works on things that you are familiar with already. So can't find
And
things you're
I
unknown.
don't have it
Prepared.
yet
Yep.
as well.
Well, let's just say for now that you go ahead and try a couple more books in different places to see
Can
if you get any closer to what you're looking for.
Sure.
I kind of want to go find someone and be like, hey, can you write down your word or words for mushroom or mushroom people?
So we can cross-reference with it.
Yeah, so we just try and
Nice.
find it.
Good thinking.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, Thrakus, you leave to go find somebody to do that. Varus,
Mm-hmm.
I'll get you to roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
I would say at disadvantage, as you're doing it, yeah, without in a language you don't know.
Hey, still a 12.
Alright. So you just go to another different places of this library, pull out some more books, read off the titles of them, get Ailey to translate. You get things like common ores at certain levels, uses 10 uses of iron.
Paris does make some small notes to himself about these things.
Yeah.
He's always learning if he can.
Yeah. And yeah, but nothing about nothing that seems close. Not like not creatures found, not even like flora, fauna found in the caves. Not even anything dark, Underdark related.
Oh, good. He will keep plodding along.
Perfect. Cool. So while you guys are doing that, Thrakus is looking for a person. We'll easily find a dwarven monk walking around. Oh, can I help you?
Yes, actually. Hi. We were just trying to do some research because we recently came upon some not so friendly mushroom people. Not
Oh,
here,
aye.
far away from here. But we were hoping to find more information. But we do not read Dwarvish.
Oh, I see.
So we're kind of struggling.
Yeah, our library's
doing
not going to be much help for you then.
Yeah. We've kind of found a workaround, but like, is there any chance you'd be able to write down for me what you would call the mushroom people, or like mushroom or underdark in Dwarvish?
Oh, of course.
You know what we're looking for?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Do you have any paper?
Fuck, do I?
I'm like, hello?
Have you followed?
I mean, I'm more going, hey Thrakus, remember that person who runs around with you and constantly draws things on that giant magical book of holding? Maybe they have paper.
Thrakus?
Sporadically trying to like do stuff by herself. So she'll pull out the wanted poster of Jamie and like tear off a little sliver of the bottom that doesn't have any of the drawing on it.
Okay.
But oh yeah,
It's like, oh,
some paper.
all right. Interesting.
All I got, man.
Oh, okay. All right. And we'll write some dwarvish words down on this paper for you. Here you go.
Thank you. It is very helpful. So, toddle my way back to the library.
Okay. Well, as you arrive back, you see Varys and Ailey still just going through book after book, reading out Dwarvish, well, what passes for Dwarvish, and Ailey responding and repeating what they have heard. It's not.
Well, we
not
have a
normal.
starting point, so now the rest of us can also start looking for more relevant things for Varys to read out.
Wonderful. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right.
What do you want us to roll for that?
Roll me in another investigation check. Anyone who wants to.
We must invest.
Can I casting guidance to help?
Sure.
Woo! Woo!
Oh, it's-
Highs and
Eight.
lows today.
Oh. Investigation.
Ooh, I am
Woo!
gonna also cast Speak with Animals. 1 second.
Okay.
Hey, Codswallop,
Yo.
could you... Hey, how you doing, buddy? I hope you enjoyed the breakfast bacon.
Oh, I d-
Uh...
and enjoyed licking John's hand.
Love her hand, it's great. You remember the weird smell down in the other caves? Before we found the freaky dead people?
You'll have to be more specific, I'm afraid. We've done a lot of finding of freaky dead people.
Like the most recent
No.
ones that didn't like sunlight, and like I tried to talk to them and then they ran at me.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. So if you remember that smell,
Mm-hmm.
can you try to keep a lookout for that smell and let us know if you do smell it? Because we're trying to figure out more about these guys and they're not good news. So any help would be appreciated.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Thank you. Also, if any of these big paper things smell like that, that would be very helpful. But I don't think it's going to at this point. That's a stretch.
Okay.
Thank you. So, like,
Mm.
what's your favorite snack?
All of them.
Nick Minute,
Okay.
Avrosik.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't you
Do.
agree? Don't you dare. I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah,
Nah, not really.
it reminds him of
But-
his puppyhood.
Food in general, food good. Things I can eat. Tasty.
Haley agrees. If she could hear, she agrees.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh,
Darkus is going to continue looking, but like chatting with Codswallop because you know these moments are lovely. It's nice to be able to talk to each other.
Sweet. So, let's take 27 investigation
Mhm.
from Varys.
Kelly.
And 20 from Marcus. You quickly memorize. I mean, you know the script already. There's Gnomish, so you know what words you're looking for specifically, which mean mushroom people and underdark.
Hmm.
In
Did I say deep dark
Dwarvish-
before?
no, you said underdark. I'm just just thinking about a totally different thing. Yes.
Speech.
Yeah, there's a lot of other names in media for the Underdark, because obviously it's such a well populated thing. Like, it's just a thing. Anyway, so looking with those words now, you quickly skim a bunch of books. Don't even bother saying any words out loud to Ailey until you find a book with something like that in it, and that's when you decide to read it to Ailey to get more information. And it'll take you a couple of tries before you spot a book that has Underdark in the title. And you read it out the title to Ailey, and you get an adventurer's recount of trips to the Underdark.
Sick.
So,
Hell yeah.
Man, I want to read that.
Story time, friends. Everybody get around.
So Varys is going to read the book out loud.
Could we just call over somebody who actually speaks Dwarvish to help us with this now?
I mean, you're doing it now.
It's volunteered.
Yeah,
It's a
no one-
long way.
You were waiting for someone to come, but you guys have just been looking this whole time.
Yeah. No, don't keep me going down this path.
You start reading it. Savannah just starts reading the book out loud in the worst Dwarvish, the absolute worst Dwarvish.
Also with like apologies
Yeah.
in Gnomish.
Yeah.
At the end of it.
Not understanding a single word that he's saying.
Nope.
That to you it sounds like it sounds like very boring, very grave Gnomish. Like you're reading out the technical manual at someone's funeral.
Yeah, it's like very staccato as well too, I imagine.
Yeah. And you know what dwarves sound like in general, so you're also putting on you're like unconsciously putting on their timbre and all that to the words as well. So it just it sounds awful. And Ailey is still having trouble fully understanding what you're saying and repeating it exactly as well. So it's a fun time all around.
Oh yeah.
As Ailey repeats the first part of the book, which is that it is the recount of an ancient, one of the many ancient ancestors of the people here, from their time in the Underdark, well before even coming to this continent. So this is the Underdark entrance somewhere over in the old world where we all came from. Speaks of many a creature down there that came in contact with. There's a lot of preamble here. Like when you're reading a recipe and they have to tell you the whole life story beforehand. So you're getting a lot of details about this guy's life before he actually gets to what he's talking about. You get the sense that Ailey is able to translate it well enough get the sense that this person didn't actually complete this book, and that it was published by his children after his death, as he'd been, doing his own journaling of his adventures in the Deep Dark and Underdark, and was never found after his last adventure. He had detailed accounts of interactions with many an Underdark creature, and they are found deeper in the book, which you quickly flip to once you realize that there's a preamble, and you see some sketches of different creatures that he's found down there. Things like drow, weird tormented fae, more other less more barbarous dwarves as well, proper Durgar, that had been that don't even speak common sort of dwarves down in the Underdark. And eventually you do find Bungaloids as a described creature in there. And the drawings of them aren't exactly what you encountered. They're what you encountered were people at the very beginning stages of being turned into these creatures. But what he has drawn and what you showed to everybody is entirely mushroom people, right? Like mushrooms with 2 legs and 2 arms. They have all of the there's no part of whatever creature they were beforehand visible, or even a way to make them out, other than the fact that they are clearly a bipedal life form now, and they have massive florets as heads, and glow brightly and distinctly all over them. He describes them as generally friendly to, well, not friendly, but generally not threatening to other sentient creatures. That they have often allowed him and other adventurers in the Underdark refuge within their colonies, so long as they don't stick around too long. That they have often requested that they have operated much like a settlement within the Underdark previously, but due to their due to the way that they're perceived by people, a lot of people don't go and actually trading stuff with them, but have been the real crux of it is that you're not, when you're dealing with what looks and feels like different individuals of the race, you're actually dealing with one singular mind that holds up an entire colony, and they
are the colonies themselves separate?
Yes.
From
So
each
that
other?
is what is described, is that they try to locate themselves and have their singular minds together, but then there are other colonies of these fungaloids that are entirely separate minds, separate beings that have their own infighting and in squabbles. Like instead of being different like cities or different settlements, they're essentially 2 separate people that have 2 separate people's worth of fighting with each other. They just unfortunately have the ability to have multiple versions of themselves to do that. And that it's described that they occasionally have a skirmish over territory, which has, which does it does cause like movements in the ground and in the other creatures in the Underdark, that they are often affected by it, specifically the ones that don't interact with the don't communicate on that level. So things like hook horrors and bullets and other creatures that are more baser instincted are affected by this turmoil that is created between these colonies. But yeah, otherwise, the description of them seems pleasant. That they are often a refuge for this adventure, and that while all of the images that he's able to produce of them, that he has sketched of them, they are by far the most detailed and most eloquent, as they're the ones he's been able to just sit and observe for long periods of time. Yeah.
So why are these ones so hungry for bodies?
Maybe it is something similar to what happened with Rillen, maybe. A colony was swayed in some form to the Black Sun, but it is that colony within that area. There may be
They
Is it
others?
all of
didn't
them, or
know.
is it because one got swayed, they all got swayed?
They didn't know about the Black Sun God until we talked to them. That was the moment that they went, oh, good, because they specifically wanted bodies. We swayed them accidentally.
Maybe they
Because,
have an eating person in their colony who
like,
made them all want to eat people.
or like, is something killing them? So they need to like regenerate their drones, I guess.
Speak up and say, if there was one colony located separately, if the fungal mat that we're dealing with, that we've got up the dome, if that's a different part of a different colony, maybe it was being attacked by the colony that we were dealing with at the same time.
Oh, like it just launched a. Yes, I suppose if it is a singular consciousness, it could launch things at the same time on multiple fronts.
And we did have the rumbles occurring.
Yes. We know for a fact that they have been storing things underground as well too. The house that was built on top of that area where the creature came out of the ground hadn't been there long.
Yes.
If it was
And Reptar,
fighting multiple people.
Reptar had said something about them becoming docile at points, so maybe they have like periods where they're able to be active, and we just caught them at their active period, and they started both attacking us and attacking this colony that this fungal creature's associated with, or something to that effect.
Yes. Oh,
Tried to make
perhaps
friends with them. It's not fair.
Perhaps they were already looking to launch this offensive. We just turned up at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And told them something that they wanted to hear, and now they are all for the Black Sun God.
But that... I mean, I am heartened to hear that they have been known to be kind in the past, at least to this dwarven adventure. It means that maybe we could have, allies in the fungal mat that was being attacked. Perhaps if we can help them or discover them.
Yes. Perhaps. The
Go
Underdark
in
is
the
a
caves down here.
is a large place. There could be many of creature or ally fight down there. You only really saw the surface of it, really.
We can't just disappear into the Underdark right now. We've got stuff to do for Wakelaw, don't we?
That we do.
Yeah.
Well, this is at least more information we can take to him. And after we've dealt with our masquerade, we can get back down and ally ourselves with another colony and take over this one. That's causing all the problems.
Les, I wonder if they'll remember me from licking. What if I just walk up to them and lick them? Will that jog their memory? Is that a good thing? I don't
Maybe.
know. It went so well last time.
Honestly, I mean, it has about as good a chance of working as anything else does, so I'm all for it.
Woo.
I'm not sure how many people enjoy just getting randomly licked, especially as a greeting.
Varys looks at Codswallop.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Like-
actually, yeah, now that I think about it, there's a lot of people who like that.
There
Where
is.
do you think you got the idea? Like, it's one of the base instincts for most humanoids.
That
When
is-
they're babies.
That's true. Stick it in the mouth.
Put in mouth for information.
Well, as you finally have collected this information, as you've discussed this, and as we're about to finish up for the night because it is past my bedtime, as you have, put the book back, probably taken some copies of it and try and get it fully translated at some point, but put it back. Otherwise, it's not your book.
I would definitely tell our monk friend that this book is helpful for more knowledges.
All right. Well, as you're putting the book back, the door of the library opens with the head priest and another dwarf next to him. He says, "Oh, I've just brought Gale here to help you search through the books."
To regale us?
Well, he was meant to help you investigate through the library, but I guess you've already found what you're looking for. Yes.
It was a bit
Yeah.
hodgepodge, but we did make it.
I was learning Gnomish.
Yeah.
It was technically dwarvish script.
I see. Well, all right then. And with that, we're gonna finish up for tonight. Thanks everybody
Oh,
for joining us. This has been just a regular day of D&D.
Trying to get past things and making it even harder for ourselves.
Indeed. Classic. Alrighty. Yeah, next time we'll see what the team does with this information. Maybe we might get to the ball. Let's see.
please, can we get to the ball?
Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you all next time.
Masquerade with Ailey's shiny dress.
Indeed.
Chinese.
Alrighty. Bye bye.
Don't know who's more
Bye.
excited, me or Ailey.
Yeah, that's the point.
Finally get to the. Oh.
Bye.
God